Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Roots and the City podcast. All right, so I wanted to keep it a little lighter this episode. We've been really real estate heavy, but we are a community focused podcast as well. And a big part of my community, you all hear it all the time on my social media, is the Monon Trail. So the Monon Trail, according to alltrails.com, is 27 miles and it runs the length of Indianapolis itself, north to south, all the way up to Sheridan, Indiana. I have not made that full trek myself yet, but that is something on the bucket list. I will be sure to get footage, of course, of that and post it. So on this episode, I wanted to touch on just some general safety items, things that I have picked up on now living right off of the Monon for 5 years. And it's simple stuff, but not a lot of people might think of these things, especially if you're new to the community or you're new to the trail, any trail really. Just the kind of 101s that we've discovered and picked up from neighbors and friends. Now, the trail itself, going from, I would say, downtown Indianapolis all the way up to Sheridan, there's a ton of neighborhoods and different pockets of Indy that you will pass through on the way as you travel that trail up north or south. Trail safety. How can you be safe and a good trail patron as far as engaging with other trail users and safety in general? Like, what do you do when it's dark outside if you're by yourself? Stop signs, those are kind of important, right? Okay, so item number one on my safety 101s for the trail, I'm referencing the Monon. These tips go for any trail system you might have around you or that you use in your day-to-day. But number one, try to keep your headphones and your earbuds at a level that's not blasting to the point where you can't hear what's going on around you. It's important to be aware of your surroundings, whether someone's coming up from behind you on a bike, if there's a jogger passing, whatever it is, you need to be able to hear those cues. And you can hear footsteps most of the time. You might hear cyclists nowadays because a lot of people are into the Bluetooth speakers and everyone just blasts their music out in the open now. So you'll hear things coming, but that depends on the volume of your headphones. If it's too loud, you might not be able to hear. It's a safety concern because we don't want any accidents on the trail. We have seen it. People have minor bike crashes or people almost get sideswiped by people on bikes or joggers. Just be aware of your surroundings and prevent drama in your world that way. The second item might seem very, very, very simple and basic, right? But stick with me. Stop at the stop signs. Revolutionary, right? I know. You got to stop at the stop signs. And in our stretch of neighborhood where the Monon passes through, stop signs on the trails for people on the trail were just installed within the last couple of years. Common sense is not common, right? We all might think we have it, but the average person is in their own world and they're not paying attention to what's going on. You just have to stop at the stop signs. I don't know. There's so many brave individuals out there that we see on the Monon, especially during the summertime when the weather's nice and everyone's out moving and grooving and just cruising. You have to stop at the stop signs. Cars coming are literal thousands more than you do. So that would be a terrible start to a day or experience, an end of an evening, whatever. Like, you don't want to get hit by a vehicle. A lot of people in these neighborhoods where the trails are passing through are aware, and there's plenty of signage, right? But not everyone is going to yield to the pedestrian. You kind of have to still look both ways, right? Stop and look both ways. And also, if you see cars coming, don't just dart out into the street. I've seen delivery drivers and couriers on bikes and they just fly through. You can't do that because if the other person hasn't shown you that they're slowing down or acknowledged you and stopped, there's a chance they might just keep going. So stop at the stop signs. I've seen people running with strollers, pushing their children, just run through. Very close calls. I know people who've been hit on bikes, off of bikes. You got to be careful, people. Stop at the stop signs and make sure that a truck or whatever is not coming your way. A quick callback to item number 1. You will hear a lot of cyclists say, on your left, to let you know that they are coming around you and that they're about to pass. You'll also hear bike bells. You might get some cool honks. There's all kinds of bikes on the Monon Trail. But listen for those cues as well. Okay, going into item number 3, you want to be walking with flashlights. You want to be wearing reflectors, of course, if it's dark. Again, with the cars coming, they need to be able to see you if you are in the street so they can know to stop, even if they're at a distance. Give them that heads up by wearing a reflector or having a flashlight with you. If you're wearing an Apple Watch or a smartwatch, a lot of those watches have features that have flashlights just like your phone. You can actually go on here and create a standalone light. It just stays on, it's constantly on, or it flashes. When we're walking in the morning or in the evening and it's dark, I have mine flashing, and my partner, he will have a flashlight or lantern. It's very, very handy. It's built into a lot of the devices you might have. If you don't want to carry around a flashlight, there's plenty that fit in your pocket. Your phone has a flashlight, but that might kill your battery, especially if you're playing Pokemon Go. I don't know. So flashlights, reflectors. There's a lot of runners that have, I call it glow wear. It looks like neon lights, either necklaces, vests, shoes that light up, of course, are fun. Headlights they'll be wearing. I've got one of those. And the pets, of course, they will have collars that might be blinking, or little pendants that blink on their collars to let you know they're there as well. And you have to keep these things in mind too, because the Monon, just in the central Indiana piece, it's 27 miles according to alltrails.com and bikethemonon.com. But not all pockets of the trail are lit equally. There are some really, really dark pockets on the trail. I know from experience living in the Broad Ripple area. There's some stretches of the Monon that are very, very bright, street lights everywhere. Others are in green tunnels, I like to call them. So they're covered by trees. You might get some natural light from the night sky, but it's still really dark through these green tunnels because technically the trees are coming over and you're under it in this huge canopy. So just be aware of things like that. If you are a vampire and you just want to live in the shadows, no judgment. Live your life. I'm always in sunglasses. I get it. But we're not trying to have any accidents when we're trying to just get some fresh air or get a workout in. Okay, the next item on the list, keep your pet's leash short. We want Fido and little Fluffy to have all the free time and free space that they can enjoy outside on the trail like the humans do. But if you are letting them cross over the trail on the other side, you're not keeping them right as well. You risk the chance of a cyclist coming near your pet and injuring them. And I've seen dogs and cats on leashes on the Monon. You don't want them to get hurt, and you don't want to get in a dangerous entanglement. So you got to keep that in mind with your pets. If you have your music down to where you can hear your surroundings, or if you don't have any music in at all, you're just listening to nature's music, you will hear when people are coming. So use your best judgment when you're letting your pet either roam off leash. You really shouldn't do that for safety reasons, but I see it. Good for y'all for having dogs trained that well. Mine could never. But just be aware of your surroundings. If people are coming close, you don't know if people are afraid of dogs or whatever. Just keep it close to you. When the people pass by, give them a little bit of leeway on the leash. No big deal, right? You have to stay hydrated. No matter the season, make sure you are taking in plenty of water, especially if you are going on a longer ride. So again, if you're going from downtown Indy all the way up to Sheridan, you might want a bottle of water too. That's just me. Mind your health that way. Sometimes your adrenaline gets going and you're on that runner's high, that biker's high, or maybe you're on a very long walk and you're just in the zone. However you are enjoying the trail, you're still moving your body, burning calories, and exerting energy. So make sure you are replenishing that with your favorite sports energy drink, but I highly recommend H2O, water. All right, I know that was a lot. So quick conclusion to review my kind of safety tips I wanted to share today. Number one, keep your music at a level where you can hear your surroundings. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Number two, stop at the stop signs, people. They're big, they're red, they are there for a reason. Be safe, don't get hit by a car. Walk with flashlights if you are walking in the early morning and it's dark, or the later evening when it's dark. Wear reflectors, make sure that vehicles can see you and others on the trail can see you as well. It can be as small as a little pendant that blinks or a button, some reflective tape, or you can go all out and get some really cool LED lights to throw all over your body and bicycle, however you're using the trail. Light it up if you're in the dark. You want to keep your pet's leash short. Use your best judgment. Be aware of your surroundings. Know when to give them more of an extension there and let them breathe a little more, and when to pull them back closer to you, keeping to your right on the trail so people can safely pass you. And bring a bottle of water or two. Have your water, people. Keep your body nourished and healthy on your exercise, on your moment of fresh air. Keep your body happy and healthy that way. Now, I want to hear from you all. If you are in Indianapolis, what is one of your favorite trails or greenways that you enjoy? And if you are outside of Indianapolis, first of all, where are you? And two, tell me about your trail. Where is it? What's its name? I'd love to hear all about it in the comments wherever you listen. Also, what are some safety tips that you would recommend if you are someone who uses a trail in your neighborhood, wherever you are? What are some safety tips that you would give a friend, neighbor, or family member? I know I'm always talking about the Monon because it's in my backyard, but another favorite of ours, another trail favorite of ours is the Fall Creek Greenway. So on the Monon, from our backyard to Fort Harrison State Park, it's about, down and back, it's just under 2 hours worth of cycling. So if you're going up the Monon, just a handful of blocks from us actually, you can pivot to the left and you'll be on Fall Creek Greenway. Beautiful, beautiful homes and real estate back there. The landscape is just gorgeous because there's trees everywhere. You're going in and out of the trees all the way up to the state park, which used to be a military training camp actually, but that is one of our favorite trails outside of the Monon. Indy is really cool because it's one of the few cities in the country that has a trail system that is already connected as well as it is as far as getting people from one point to another in and out and through the city. And there are big plans to build all of that out, connect things, and it's really, really an awesome amenity for the city because it just gives you another way to get around. And these types of attractions bring all types of people and businesses. And who doesn't love a nice walk outside, a nice bike ride, a nice walk with the dog on a beautiful trail, walking to a coffee shop or a grocery store, or just getting a nice taste of greenery outside of your neighborhood and then safely walking back home to your front door. So I don't know, trails are cool. We really enjoy them. And you're definitely going to get a lot more footage and coverage from the trail. Maybe not so much in the winter, but who knows? We also really like going to downtown. From our house to downtown, it's maybe like a 20 to 25 minute bike ride. And from downtown, you can go a few places, but we always kind of beeline to Fountain Square because we love La Margarita out there. We've got a lot of cool shops out there. What is it? Snake. There's a plant store. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm going to mess it up. Wait a minute. I have a computer. Snake Root Botanicals in Fountain Square. So that is where I got my Monstera. You'll see my posts and things online. That clone is really huge, but Mother Monster, my first Monstera, I got that and my Venus flytraps from that store. Lots of cool stuff in Fountain Square and cool things to do. So outside of the Monon, those are just a couple of trails we enjoy in Indianapolis. All right, that is today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or trail questions, real estate questions, of course, you know how to get a hold of me. So at Jamal the Broker on all social media. I will put my contact in the show notes, and I will also put a couple of links with the Monon information that I have shared today, just so you can check that out. The Bike the Monon map is really cool because it shows all the kind of main or more popular neighborhoods, I should say, and it's easy to follow, lots of resources there, so I'll definitely make sure I link it in there. Wherever you are watching this, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please remember to rate 5 stars, leave me a review. It's going to help us grow the community here, and I'm going to go ahead and thank you in advance for that. And I hope you all are having a nice, happy, and full holiday season. We're kicking things off with Thanksgiving this week. Be safe out there if you're Black Friday shopping. And hey, give those sweatpants a break. At least change them once or twice before you burst the seams. I know I will be joining you there. So have a happy holiday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.